All right, let's persist. Let's talk about our next story. We have some good news in that, at least for John Krasinski, because he definitely came up on a bag. Um, for those who don't know, Some Good News is a news show that is dedicated to essentially telling strictly good news, quote unquote. And it was started by John Krasinski, and basically just him like in his house, just talking to people and shit during the COVID-19 pandemic. In each episode, he discusses several feel good stories and invites celebrity guests to join him in the conversation, basically following a bidding war that a lot of these like networks and places were having for the show. ViacomCBS, which is basically just CBS, came away as I guess the winner, the sweepstakes, so to speak. And so they snatched the show up, but now word is out that Krasinski not only sold the show, but he's not going to be the regular host anymore. It's going to be somebody else who's going to be the host of the show, in whatever sort of way that CBS wants to put it out. But he'll still be executive producing the show, and maybe from time to time coming in and doing a couple episodes here and there of the show. But he's not going to be the main host anymore. Uh, so just to give you some stats on Some Good News, in the 2 months that Some Good News has been on YouTube, it's collected more than 2.5 million subscribers, and
Damn.
the show ranges from about it can range in like the views, but they're in the millions in terms of the actual total views. Like some of them, I think, are about 17 million for the actual episodes. Which when I was looking at them, I was like, "There's got to be a mistake here." Like when I was and this is before any of this news broke. When I was just looking at, because I have no interest in the show really, but I was just looking at how many views they were racking up. I was like, what the fuck? Like, there's clearly an audience for this shit.
Yeah.
So you can't help but the networks can't help but take notice and be like, oh shit, this would be a good idea, to be there was already a relationship between Krasinski and Viacom CBS, because I think their producer on Jack Ryan, which for Amazon, Krasinski plays Jack Ryan for the series on Amazon Prime, and Paramount Television is a producer of the show, and then Paramount Television, I believe, is owned by Viacom CBS, and then also Quiet Place, which was Krasinski's film that he wrote and directed, is also under the Paramount Pictures banner. So it's kind of like a duh.
It's
Sort of
probably
situation.
easier to keep it all in the family, you know.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not go outside of CBS. But yeah, I mean, there's some good news for everybody. John Krasinski's accountant, um, the car dealership that has probably been trying to get him to get the newest model of whatever vehicle he was driving.
Yeah.
Everybody gets paid, right? CBS has got a
Yeah.
new program, and I think there is, I know those numbers, like the views and subscribers, are pretty up there for like a show that's obviously, the sign behind him looks like it was created by maybe his like children, or maybe he did it. Low budget production, but like the purpose of it is like feel good stories, right? And I think there's always going to be an audience for that. So my mom, her husband, they're like big news people, right? And it is insane to me, like how the news is delivered and fed to people, and how people just continue uh to like watch the news as it is today, as if there's nothing wrong with it. Like every time I turn on the local news, it's like, you know this person was murdered, this person was shot and stabbed and killed, this person got shot in the neck, survived and died 2 days later from a stabbing. And it's like how are we not realizing that, like, all of this stuff is in a certain way shaping your train of thought and like your decision making, right? The news that, whether CBS, NBC, Fox, or whatever, it's all like really bad shit. So I think the concept of this show, Some Good News, is great. I hope that they take the production of it to the next level. They continue, whoever like the host of the show is going to be, they continue to make it fun, they continue to make it interesting, and they keep the premise of the show alive, and they keep it running where it just focuses on good news, feel good stories, things that matter to people. So like huge shout out to John Krasinski here. Great idea, brought it to life. I hope CBS takes the baton and runs with it and doesn't fuck it up.
Yeah. So just to say real quick, these are some of the objections I had because there was a lot of backlash to Krasinski about this, right? So for one, and to be fair to the people who are have a gripe with him about this, they kind of have a point, right? Like the show is no longer like pure, right? Like it was just a show that he cooked up in his in his house, and, he was just doing it kind of not necessarily off the cuff, but like, it just looked really like low budget. And it's just like, look, I just want to give you guys some good news and that's it. Like, I don't have any other interest here. So I get that it's no longer pure, but also like it points to like a larger issue with when you create content, who is the actual owner of that content, right? So we as fans kind of project onto whoever the artist is, whoever the person is making the content. We project onto them what we want them to be. So they produce a thing, we see it, and then we immediately project onto them, hey, this is what we want you to be. Here's what we want you to do, right? Under what fucking circumstance? I know I fucked that up.
Under what fucking circumstance?
Under what fucking circumstance did Krasinski ever make a deal with the fans that, hey, I'm going to continue this for the next 15 years. All those movies that I was planning to do, fuck them. All those shows that I'm a part of, fuck them. I'm just going to dedicate myself specifically to this show. At no point did he ever make that agreement with the fans. And then when he, and the most hilarious part about this entire thing is that he's a celebrity, right? He started off as a celebrity, leveraging his celebrity to get guests onto his show, to get people to watch the show. And then he's a celebrity who leveraged his celebrity to then sell that show to a network. Why are you mad at him? I don't understand. Like, I'm really drawing a blank as to why people are pissed at him. If this entire time, all he's done is just leverage his celebrity at every turn. Like, the only reason why, like, if Joe Blow from fucking down the street from me started a YouTube page called Some Good News and had some dope content there, 10 people would watch it, right? Like, and I'm not trying to say that to like disrespect that person, and maybe they might even get more views than that, but they would never get as many views as John Krasinski has gotten with Some Good News. And so like, he's a person who leveraged his celebrity to get people to watch the thing, and then did the same thing by selling it to a network. I don't understand like why people are acting like, oh my God, it's no longer pure. You're selling out what?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be watching if John Krasinski wasn't fucking hosting this thing. Like if he wasn't a giant celebrity.
Yeah, it's like so you're fascinated with the celebrity, not necessarily the thing, right?
Yeah.
And the creator of the show, John Krasinski, like he created a thing that he realized he can monetize it, and he sold it. Just because you create something, just because you're a creator, does not mean you have to be tied to the art or the thing that you created for the rest of your life. A lot of creators do the thing, like do the creation,
and move the fuck on
to sell it, and so they can keep creating, right? Imagine being a creator and you do one great thing, and then you have to continue to do that one great thing for the rest of your life, and you can never do a second or third or fourth or fifth great thing because people expect you to stick to the one. That's not how it works. John created Some Good News. It's great. A lot of people love it. CBS has it now. I hope CBS only does right by the show and in its original premise, keep that going. Just, bigger production, better quality show, more guests. I hope the future of the show is brighter than its past. I hope John Krasinski still is a part of the show in some capacity, maybe as an executive producer or as a guest host on occasion. But no, he didn't sign up to do this thing for the rest of his life. He just created it. You enjoyed it. You can continue to love it.
Yeah. And also, the same people who are saying like, oh, you're a sellout. It's very confusing because it's like, well, are you here for the show or are you here for John Krasinski? Much like you were just saying, because it's like, well, if you're here for the show, well, you're like, he made it so that you can continue getting the show, right? Like perpetually, right? But if you're just here for John Krasinski, it's like, well, what agreement did he have that he's going to continue this for like the next whatever? People are stupid, I think, is the in the immortal words of Remy Ma. Are you dumb? If you're right now saying to yourself, oh, why did he sell this? He's a sellout. Remy Ma says it best. Are you dumb?
Are you dumb? I mean, $100 million. I don't know what the deal was, but like, let's say it's to the tune of like 50.
I don't know if it was those Rogan.
Yeah,
numbers,
those Rogan numbers. Is that the new staple? Like that, you got to hit that Rogan number. That's what we want. That when you're in a contract negotiation, say, I want Rogan numbers.
Give me the Rogan.
But let's say to the tune of 20 million, 50 million, whatever. That is, for having created something behind your computer just for like in a matter of 2 months, being able to monetize it and sell it to a network for 20 million. Of course he's going to sell the show. He'd be stupid not to. What? Yes, I'm selling. Where do I sign? Have it. It's yours. You take responsibility for it now. Let me know when the check clears.
Here, I need a direct deposit.
Yeah. I need to renovate my kitchen. I want Italian marble flown in from Italy once the coronavirus shit is over. But yeah, of course he's going to sell out. So anyway, shout out to John Krasinski.
Yeah.